have we hit the inflation peak now that gas prices are falling? Guess who we're going to bring in? Gene Marks, of course. He's the CPA president of the Marks Group and a small business expert. So listen, Gene, we'll get to gas prices in a second, but
Sure.
First of all, the people who want to work, they can find a job. Americans are spending 10% more than last year. People are out dining. Gas prices are creeping down, as we said. So why the high inflation rate and talk of recession? Like, what's not adding up?
Well, there's a lot of factors that are contributing to the high inflation rate, Arthel, and let's not forget it's not just gas prices, but we all have to keep an eye on the producer price index. I mean, that was at 11.3%. Arthel, the cost to manufacture core stuff, industrial chemicals and iron and steel and copper and things like that. These are what my clients are the core materials for all the products that we buy and sell. They're up a lot, even more than 11% in producer prices, and the cost of freight as well. All of those things are contributing to just overall rising consumer prices that we're seeing right now.
And what's causing those materials and shipping fees to go so high?
So a lot of different factors as well. You mentioned, of course, energy, because oil and petroleum-based products are a part of a lot of products in the economy. The supply chain issues that we saw as well. And really, Arthel, in the economy, and I've learned this over many, many years, it's not that hard to figure out. It's all about supply and demand, every single economic problem. And when prices go up, it just means that there is less of a supply of something to meet demand. And what we have been seeing over the past 2 years since the pandemic is shorter supplies of core materials and ultimately consumer goods. And because of that, that's caused an increase in prices. And the shortage of supplies has been because of the lack of manufacturing, because of countries around the world shutting down because of the pandemic and just trying to catch up and make sense of it.
Definitely a domino effect, and it continues. And, jobs are available. As we know, unemployment is low, but are they good paying jobs, Gene? I mean, jobs that come with income that can match or offset inflation?
That's such a great question, Arthel. No, frankly. I mean, real wages, first of all, actual wages themselves are up about 5% year over year. You and I both know, because you've been reporting on it, inflation itself is over 9%. It is not keeping up. In fact, real wages over the past 3 months have actually declined a little bit. So, no, there is an adjustment that needs to be happening, Arthel. And, I'm a small business advocate, but even I'm telling my clients, you guys really need to be considering a mid-year pay raise for your employees, because something's got to break. Employees can't make it on a 5% pay increase when prices are rising over 9%. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that sometime in the second half of 2022, employers stepping up, good employers, to make good for their employees.
And I have a feeling, even though they don't want, your clients may not want to hear it, but I have a feeling you're right. They're going to step up, because it's either pay to get good people to work for you, or you close your doors. Because without your ability to present the service to your consumers, then you got nothing. So
every single, I just want to say to you that every single one of my clients has got a worker shortage. And I know they wouldn't want me to be saying this on live television, but if you're an employee and you're out there, now is a really good time to be going to your employer and asking for a raise. We all know what inflation is. It is not an unreasonable request to make. And trust me when I tell you, if you're a good employee, your employer does not want to lose you. They want to keep you around. Right. So I'm seeing that happening, and that's my recommendation to your viewers as well.
No, and you know what? Another good recommendation: if you can afford it, if you're out there eating and going to whatever, parking your car, eating out, and tip well. If you can afford it, tip well, because the people who are showing up, I mean, they're trying to do their best, right?
I agree. And one final thing, by the way, when you were talking about tipping well and looking at employees that are out there, there's worker shortages at all of these restaurants as well, and those workers are working really, really hard. So from a consumer basis, for us to be able to help them out a little bit, whether you leave a $7 tip or a $10 tip, what difference does that make to you? It can make a huge difference to that server.
Exactly. And in 30 seconds, Gene, because we never want to alarm anybody, but if a recession is imminent, I mean, like, what's the fiscally sound way to just kind of weather the storm right now?
So first of all, recession is imminent, but I think it's going to be a small recession, just a slowdown. So no need to panic. OK, I talked about asking for a raise. One thing that I've been recommending to my clients, Arthel, with the increase in energy prices, get an energy audit. talk to your utility company now. They all offer them these free services where they come out to your homes and your businesses. They will look around and they will make recommendations to improve the energy efficiency in your homes. And if you're a small business owner or a retail shop owner or a restaurant shop owner, there are a lot of boutique services that you can Google that will audit your energy bills as well. They can find discrepancies or pricing problems or math issues, fix them. They get a fee based on what they save you in those costs, and then you'll save costs going forward. That way you can prepare yourself for those increased energy costs, which are here now and are going to continue to be for the next 6 to 12 months.
Always awesome. Gene Marks, CPA and president of the Marks Group. Thank you, Gene.